Good morning and Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us today for our first webinar of the year. And I want to give you just a little background on what 2017 brought Seabrook, and then also talk about some of the exciting new developments for 2018. So we'll get started. And by the way, if any of you are having any technical difficulties and can't hear or see the screen, please text in the little box, and we'll try to address any concerns you've got. Got my sidekick here, Evo, who helps me put these webinars together, and he's available to help out. All right, so last year was a record sales year for us. We had over $40 million in home sales. That was about an $8.2 million increase over 2016. And we sold 38 new homes and 17 resales. So a really good year for sales at Seabrook, and we're expecting another really good year as well for 2018. One of the things that's driving sales for Seabrook is the growth in our cottage rental business. About 60% of our homes are in the cottage rental program, and as you can see by this chart, we just continue to grow every year. We've averaged about 20% year-over-year growth for 10 years, and we don't see that stopping. Part of the reason we don't see it stopping is there's 1/10 of the lodging opportunities on the Washington coast when you compare to the Oregon coast. So we have much less inventory on the Washington coast that's available for vacation homes and for second homes to purchase and rent. And that's part of the reason we selected this site, was that Seattle and the Puget Sound needed their own beach town. And we're building that now, and we're glad you're a part of it. What we didn't expect was all of the growth in the Seattle market, because we purchased the property in early 2000, my wife Laura and I, and we had no expectations of the kind of growth that would happen in this region. So all these people moving into Seattle obviously need a place to get away from the city, and we think Seabrook's going to be one of their top choices when they want to get out of town. So this bodes well for our vacation rental business, and also bodes well for our second home and retirement business. One of the ways that we really like to make Seabrook fun is by adding events, and we usually add these events in the slowest times of the year, so that those homes that are in the cottage rental program see a nice lift on what would normally not be as popular of a weekend. And so we're continuing to add great events. This last year we had Hood to Coast. It was a huge success. There were over 350 teams that signed up. I think there were teams of 7 per team. And this year there's going to be actually 500 teams. So this is very good for Seabrook in general, just visibility to the public, and also great for our cottage rental business, our merchants, and our homeowners. It really creates the vibrancy. And if you've been following us over the last 12 months, you have noticed that we released one of our new neighborhoods, the South of Market neighborhood. And this is south of where our main street will be, which is, if you can see my arrow on the screen, this is just highlighting where the town center is being constructed right now. This is where Frontager's Pizza is and the candy store, and currently our market and Mill 109 are here. So just gives you a little perspective on how substantial this town center is going to be. About 50,000 square feet of retail, and currently about 25,000 square feet is under construction, essentially these 2 blocks. So just a block away is this new South of Market neighborhood, and this is where we have some of our homes. These homes have been selling very quickly, and we're really excited to get all these new neighbors in town. And if you are interested in purchasing at Seabrook, you definitely want to look at some of the opportunities in the South of Market neighborhood. This is showing a perspective looking over the ocean of the town center. Again, these buildings here are either all under construction or about to start construction, and the same across the street as well. So big changes. Approximately 15 new businesses will be opened in the next 12 months, and 10 of those businesses will be open by this summer. So big changes for our retail district and town center, and it's going to really add a lot of vibrancy and just more things to do, more reasons to stay. And this will also extend people's vacations here because there will be more things to do. People will want to stay longer, and people will be it will make Seabrook even more desirable. So we only see our cottage rental market growing, and we only see home prices increasing with the addition of this town center. These are some progress photos, and what's so exciting about Seabrook is every single day something has changed. And right now, if you were to walk down Market Street, these buildings are they're starting to put the windows in, and they're even further along than these pictures. But this gives you an idea of the kind of detail that is designed in the Market Street. These 3-story townhouses with really elegant dormers and architectural details. We have bay windows on the south side, and all of these buildings, not only the residential units, but also the retail units or the shops below, look down to the ocean. So the whole design of the town center is to take in the ocean view. So we can't wait to share this with you, and we can't wait for you to see it this summer when these businesses are all open. Some of the new businesses coming this year, we have 2 new restaurants, potentially a 3rd restaurant, but 2 restaurants for sure. One is a Southern barbecue restaurant, and another is an oyster bar, and we're really excited to have both of those additions. The other addition to the oyster bar will be a fish and chips food truck that'll be parked next to these 2 new restaurants, and they'll be serving fresh albacore tuna fish and chips, and they're amazing. I've tested them. They're really incredible. So can't wait for that. We also are adding a bookstore, a toy store, a jewelry store, a knitting store, which is going to have high-end yarn and really high-quality products for those knitters out there. I've got 5 of them at home, so they're excited for this little shop. And then we also will be adding an art gallery, a ladies' boutique, and an outdoor outfitter. We're also talking to someone that is interested in running a hair salon and a barber shop. So we're working right now very closely with all these merchants. We haven't signed leases on everything yet, because what we want to do is make sure we have all the best merchants on Main Street we can possibly get, and have the best mix of businesses. So it's really interesting to be in our town center. You're not going to see a lot of competing businesses. The whole design is to have these complementary businesses that really feed off of each other, which creates a really strong town center. We're also planning for next year with a new grocery store, an arcade, a theater, a new craft brewery, and a glass blowing studio. So when the grocery store moves out of the current market, that will become a glass blowing studio. So really excited to also add the arts to Seabrook and have more things for people to do and watch and be a part of. So we had one of our homeowners who just bought in South of Market take these really neat photos of the neighborhood coming alive. You can actually see, again, these retail buildings that are under construction here in the town center, and then the 2 new restaurants have just started construction here, and then another building will be starting soon on this corner, which will have the wine bar and a wine shop included, much larger space than our current wine bar. And then we're also the next building that will be under construction is our cottage rental check-in office, and then a more merchandise on the corner. And this will also include a base camp, and this base camp will be the place where you go to sign up for activities and outdoor adventures and fun things like that while you're staying in Seabrook. And then In the South of Market neighborhood below, you can see our new park. This whole neighborhood is anchored between the town center and this new park that overlooks the ocean, and then a new playground over here for the kids and families, and then several cottages that wrap around this park. And then again, our homeowner even highlighted their home in the South of Market neighborhood. We're really excited again to complete these homes and move in new neighbors. So if you haven't seen the growth in the South of Market neighborhood over the last 6 months, you will be really surprised at what's happening out here. We're also still selling a few more properties in our Elk Creek neighborhood. This is one of our most prestigious neighborhoods in Seabrook. It obviously has incredible views of the ocean. We have homes starting from $1.5 million and working their way up from there. There are lots or home sites that can be purchased individually, but anyone who wants to have a direct connection with the ocean and a spectacular view, you definitely want to be looking in the South of Market. We do have one model home that's set up for viewing right now, so if you're coming down, please ask to tour that home and kind of get a good background on what Elk Creek is all about. This is showing some of the remaining home sites and homes available. Right now, the model home is actually on lot 302, and we have another home under construction that is available on lot 303. And then you can see these lots that are highlighted in orange. Those are also available for purchase. Lot 300, 298. I'm not sure why this was in red, but this is also available for sale. And we have a home. We have homes designed, concept homes designed on most of these lots that you can look at. The only home site we don't have a concept design on is 293 when it comes to our ocean front homes. But yeah, lots of variety in our Elk Creek neighborhood, and still a very short walk to our town center and again the South of Market park. We're also finishing up our first phase of the farm district, and there's just, you can see one little hole there in the middle of the park. That's our last home site available on the park, and you can see our fire pit, and these homes are finally getting painted and completed, and our homeowners are moving in. It's really been fun to see this neighborhood come to life. And again, there are some remaining opportunities in this first phase, just 2 or 3, I believe, that are still available, and they are home sites. But what we're really excited to announce today is a new pocket neighborhood that is the second phase of the farm district. This is just across the street from where the barn is, and actually just south of where our home is and where we're raising our family. So you'd be our neighbors if you ended up in this little neighborhood, and we'd love to have you. This is really taking some of our best floor plans and making them better, and really improving on what was already a very popular house plan. So we have our 2-story Maplewood house design. 2 of them have ground floor master bedrooms, and then they can have 2 or 3 bedrooms upstairs in addition. So you can turn that into a 3-bedroom or a 4-bedroom. If you go with a 3-bedroom, you'll get a media room in addition. But if you go with the 4-bedroom, there is no media room. And then in between, we have our 2-bedroom, 2-bath cottages. These are approximately 800 square feet. And what's great about this neighborhood is most of these homes are under $500,000. And if you've been tracking the availability of homes in Seabrook, there hasn't been a lot available under $500,000. So we think these are really going to be popular cottages, not only to purchase, but also in our rental program, because these center around a really beautiful courtyard and a fire pit, and just really great green space that our Director of Town Development and Landscape Designer, Stephen Polakis, has designed. So we're really looking forward to building these. This is showing the site plan from lots 410 through 418. So this is a 2-story house on 410, a 2-story house on 415, and then also a 2-story on 418. And this is basically a little family of cottages, and that's why we called this the Croft. The Croft is actually a small farm, little small farm village in Scotland. So since these are right directly across the street from the barn and from our arena and the pasture areas, we thought the Croft was a really fitting name and kind of a fun name for these new cottages. This is showing one of the two-story houses. This is a 3-bedroom house, plus it can have an additional bedroom or a media room, and then there's 3 bathrooms. But this is a proven house plan for us, not only for people who have just bought them as vacation homes or second homes, but also they've performed really well in our cottage rental program. And this is the one that we're the most excited about, because we haven't brought any one-level houses in our home inventory for a long time. We have a lot of people that have been asking for 1-story houses, and this has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths on the main living on the main floor. This also we also added a mudroom to this design, so it really has all the features that our buyers are asking for, and we designed these features into the home. This was based off of our alder cottage, which was actually 2 feet narrower, and a lot of people like those homes, but they always felt like they were a little too narrow, and so by adding that 2 feet, it really is going to make a big difference on the interior. And it also created a really nice master bathroom, and both bedrooms accommodate a king-size bed, which the original alder cottages did not. So we really enhanced this plan and excited to release this little family of cottages. And then last but not least, this is one of our daisy plans, and this is a 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath house, and this is actually the least expensive house available in this little cottage court. Today the price is $469,000 on that home, and again, a very popular plan. Actually, good friends of ours own this same exact house directly across the alley from us, and they love it. They're there almost every weekend. So we love this little cottage, and it's been very popular. So if you don't have a sense of where this neighborhood is, this is actually showing where the orange arrow is here, where this new cottage court is, lots 410 through 418. You can see across the street is the barn and the arena, and then this is all pasture and woodlands that will always be preserved. And so part of the reason we moved out to the farm district is that our kids really love to be out in the pasture, in the woods, and just really, we call them free-range kids, because they have a lot of independence out here in Seabrook, and they love the open space and just being outdoors. And the farm district really offers all of that. So this location is a pretty good location, and then we've actually moved right here on the home site here, lot 357. So we could have chosen any location in Seabrook, and we chose this because actually our daughters just love being out here. So just some upcoming events. If you're planning your trip or your vacation to Seabrook and want to see what's available and maybe walk through some of our model homes, these are some of the events we have coming up. We actually have a new event this year. It's a fat tire bike race. Fat tire bikes have become very, very popular, and these races have also become popular. And there's no better place to ride these bikes than at the beach. So this race will start and finish on Market Street, and the whole idea is to really create a lot of vibrancy in our town center, and most of our events will take place in the center of the town center. We also have our 2nd annual Daffodil Festival that we had last year, and we had a parade and the local band. It was a lot of fun, a great time to come out and get ready for spring and seeing the flowers bloom. And then one of our most popular events is Savor Seabrook, which is a seafood and wine festival, and that's on May 5th. And if you want to come out and just see a lot of homes, the Spring Showcase of Homes is also a very popular weekend, because we have usually 15 to 20 plus homes available to show at once. And so a lot of our guests have turned into owners on that weekend because they get a better idea of what is available and what type of floor plan that they want and what type of location. So this is a great weekend to come out if you're interested in purchasing. And then our second annual Hood to Coast race will be on June 1st and June 2nd. And again, we're so excited to have the Hood to Coast at Seabrook. If you don't know, the Hood to Coast in Portland is actually the largest relay race in the world. And so for them to select Seabrook as their finish line for their first Washington Hood to Coast has been a great honor for us. So we're really, really excited to have them back. And then right after that, we actually have our third annual volleyball tournament, which is attracting a lot of people that love beach volleyball, a lot of young athletes that are trying to get recruited for beach volleyball scholarships. We have several university coaches that show up to that event. So again, just a lot of fun events that just create that vibrancy in Seabrook and make Seabrook a special place. So we have some questions that some of you have already sent in that we'd like to go through and answer for those of you who want to stick around. If you're not able to stick around, we appreciate you taking the time to listen to the webinar, and we hope to see you at the beach soon. But for those of you who are going to stick around for some of the questions, we'll just walk through these real quick. So this is from Xenia. Thank you for the question. The first question is, what is the plan for the next pool at Seabrook? And we are actually designing a new pool location in the south of the farm district. So just south of that neighborhood I was just showing you, we have a location picked out for this new pool, and we're really excited about it because it will be actually an outdoor hot pool. So it'll be warm, very warm, not just in the summer, but also in the winter. So a lot of people think, why would you want to swim in the middle of the winter outside? But once you've swam in a hot pool at a ski resort, you know, when it's 20 degrees out, or you've been actually in an oceanfront pool on the Oregon coast. There's 2 or 3 of them that I've been to on the Oregon coast, and again, my kids love it because the water's like 90 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees, and so it's like almost like a giant hot tub. So we think that's going to be really popular, and of course we still have an indoor pool for anybody that wants to enjoy an indoor pool, which is in Crescent Park, and that will actually become more and more over time an adult pool. So we'll have more swim times and adult pool times once we open up our second pool. Second question, how many homes have been sold in the South of Market neighborhood? That's actually a really good question, and I didn't come very prepared for that one. But I think we had 39 lots, and I'm going to say we sold 15 to 20 of those homes. But I'm going to have someone follow up with you and give you an accurate number. But they've been selling, again, very quickly, and it feels like we're about halfway through the South of Market as of right now. And we've been releasing small clusters of homes at a time. We don't release all of the home sites or homes at once. We usually, release 4 to 8 homes, and then we sell most of those, and then we'll release another 4 to 8 homes. And that's usually how we do any of our neighborhoods. Are there any biking trails planned for the future? Yes, yes, and yes. So we are actually working with Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance and working with the Department of Natural Resources on a 200-acre mountain bike terrain park that is immediately adjacent to Seabrook to the east. And this is one of my pet projects because anybody who knows me knows that I love to ride mountain bikes. And I see this as a big opportunity for Seabrook and for anyone that loves to ride and wants to be out of the coast. There's really not many opportunities to ride at the beach, and we want to be, the mecca for people that want to not only ride cruiser bikes around town, but also want to ride mountain bikes. So we expect to be announcing something on this mountain bike park later in the year, but we have a lot of support from the governor's office, all of our local county commissioners and some of our local politicians are all really excited about this and supportive of this new public mountain bike park. The fourth question we have here is, what's the nearest first responder and ambulance? Another good question. The fire department is about a mile away. For a rural fire department, it's actually one of the more sophisticated fire departments in Grays Harbor County. Part of that is Seabrook is a big supporter of the emergency services and equipment that they have, and our Seabrook Foundation has supported a lot of that and matched a lot of dollars that have gone into the fire department. But we also have several CERT-trained employees on site in Seabrook, so they're excellent first responders. And we also have an EMT. We even have some physicians that live on site. So we feel very comfortable out at Seabrook. Anybody who knows the people who are around and the way we take this seriously, I mean, most people feel very comfortable once they understand, who the first responders are and what kind of services are available to us. And we plan on continuing to enhance those services, including an urgent care clinic in Seabrook in the near future. So, next question. What is the balance between full-time residents and guests? And the second question of this from Tammy is, what do you anticipate it to be in the future? Well, another good question. Today, about 60% of our homeowners are in the cottage rental program, and we think that's a really great balance for Seabrook, because we have a lot of full-time people who are living there now or moving out soon. And the more retail businesses we have, or more shops and restaurants, the more it will attract people to live on a full-time basis. But they also, these people who are purchasing and retiring in Seabrook, they love the vibrancy of having the guests also in Seabrook. And that's what makes the town center sustainable. If it was full-time ownership, the town center would not be nearly as sustainable as allowing for a good percentage in our rental program. So we expect to see a similar percentage going forward. We still manage 2 of our communities on the Oregon coast, and they're also in that 50 to 60%. So it's just kind of naturally fallen with those percentages, and we expect to see those not change a whole lot. And yeah, so the second question is just, what do we anticipate in the future? I mean, we still see a good mix of both guests, homeowners, and just homeowners that just use them purely as a vacation home. They don't have an interest in renting their home. Like I said, one of our neighbors, they're there with their 2 young children almost every weekend, and they absolutely love coming out there. They'll still take vacations in other locations at times, but this is kind of their happy place, and we love having, again, a mix of full-time, part-time, and guests in Seabrook. So
there are a couple questions from our homeowners that we'll make sure to address outside of this, since they're a little bit more personal to their home. There are also a question about security at Seabrook today as it stands. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. So a little bit on our security. We now have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week security in Seabrook, and we really enhanced our security department last year, more as a proactive position rather than a reactive position. But a lot of our homeowners and, again, our guests really appreciate that we have full-time coverage now. And if there's any kind of issue that happens late at night, we can take care of the issue very quickly, and they're very responsive. So, and they have, certain checkpoints all around the town that they continuously are checking and making sure that Seabrook is safe and comfortable. So those are all the questions we have today. Again, there's a couple questions that were homeowner-specific questions that we will respond to immediately. And we really want to thank you again for taking the time to listen to everything that's new at Seabrook. And again, we hope to see you at the beach soon. Thanks a lot.